So, you're looking to build a career at the absolute cutting edge of finance? You're going to need more than just a degree. You need a launch pad. And today, we're doing a deep dive into one of the world's most elite programs, the MSc in Risk Management and Financial Engineering at Imperial College London. Okay, let's just start with the raw numbers, shall we? We're talking about Imperial College London being ranked second in the entire world. What does that really mean for you? It means that before you even walk into an interview, your resume is already doing some heavy lifting, backed by a global academic powerhouse.
Now, take that world-class university and drop it into the #1 city for students on the planet. When you study in London, the city itself becomes your campus. You're right in the heart of a global financial hub where your future employers are literally just a tube ride away.
But let's be real, what's the most important number? The return on your investment, right? Well, this number pretty much says it all. Get this, a crazy 90% of graduates are employed within just 6 months. This isn't just a piece of paper to hang on your wall, it's a direct ticket to a high-impact career.
So how do they do it? What's the secret sauce behind that success? Well, that brings us to what we're calling the Imperial Advantage. This program is all about two key things. It's incredibly tough academically, but it's also recognized by the pros. It makes no apologies for being heavy on the math. It's built for technical minds. And having that accreditation from PRMIA, that's the industry telling you that the skills you learn here are exactly what they're looking for.
Okay, so we know the program is absolutely top tier. But now for the million-dollar question. Are you the right fit? Let's take a look at the kind of person they're really looking for.
What they're after is this really interesting mix of skills. Of course, you need the academic chops. A top degree in something like math, engineering, or economics is a must. But it's not enough to just be a math genius in a corner. They want ambitious people who can communicate, who can take all that complex data and explain what it means for the business. And just look at the kind of brain power you'll be surrounded by. I mean, everyone here has that strong quantitative foundation, but they're coming from all over. You'll have mathematicians sitting next to economists, next to engineers. Imagine the conversations and the problem solving in that room. It creates a really dynamic learning environment.
And don't just take my word for it. Listen to what current students are saying. Michael Kalogerakis really hits on this. He says that diversity is a huge part of the experience. You end up learning just as much from your classmates as you do from your professors.
All right, so you know who you'll be learning with. But what are you actually going to be doing all day? Let's pull back the curtain on what a year inside this intensive program really looks like. So you've got two tracks, basically. The standard one is a super intense 12-month deep dive. You're in, you work hard, and you're out. But Imperial also offers some flexibility. You can go for a 16-month extended term, which is awesome because it gives you time for a longer work placement to get even more real-world experience before you even graduate.
You hear this term thrown around a lot, right? Financial engineering. Sounds pretty complex, but what is it really? Well, think of it like this. It's your toolkit. It's about using high-level math and computational skills to solve real financial problems, making smarter decisions about trading, managing risk, and building investment strategies. It's what powers modern finance. And this is where you build that toolkit. And let me tell you, these are not your intro-level classes. We're talking about things like stochastic calculus. That's the advanced math that helps you model the chaos of financial markets. And empirical finance, where you learn how to test those complex theories with actual real-world data. This is seriously cutting-edge stuff. Okay, let's talk about the elephant in the room, the cost. An elite program like this is a big investment, no doubt about it. So let's get into the numbers. But just as important, let's talk about how you can actually pay for it, because there is a ton of support available.
So here's the number. The tuition for 2025 entry is £47,500, and that's the same whether you're a UK student or coming from abroad. Yeah, it's a hefty price tag, but you're paying for the quality and, more importantly, the results.
But hold on, because that number is not the whole story. Not even close. Imperial is serious about getting the best talent, no matter their financial background. They offer a huge range of scholarships for everything from academic excellence to supporting future leaders from diverse communities all around the world.
Okay, so we've covered the investment. Now, let's get back to the good part, the payoff. What does your career actually look like when you graduate from this program? Well, the data speaks for itself.
I mean, just look at these numbers. They paint a really clear picture. We already talked about that incredible 90% employment rate, right? But dig a little deeper. 3 out of every 4 graduates walk straight into a job in the finance sector.
And while the UK is a popular destination, this degree is truly a passport to a global career. And listen, we're not talking about just any finance jobs here. Look at this list of employers. Barclays, Morgan Stanley, Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan. These are the absolute titans of the industry. They are actively coming to Imperial to recruit from this very program. That tells you everything you need to know.
And you can see that path in action with alumni like Thea Constantino. She's now a credit risk analyst at JP Morgan, and she says it herself. The program gave her the skills she needed, but she also highlights something else just as crucial, that powerful Imperial alumni network.
All right, so if you've been listening and thinking, hey, this sounds like me, then let's get down to brass tacks. How do you actually apply and start this whole journey?
The good news is the process is pretty straightforward. You'll start online, get all your documents together, your CV, your references, your essays. Pay special attention to that quantitative experience statement. That's your chance to really prove you've got the math chops they're looking for. After that, you might get an interview, and then hopefully an offer. Okay, mark your calendars, because here are the key deadlines for 2025 entry. But, and this is so important, listen up, applications are rolling. What does that mean? It means they look at applications as they come in. For a program this competitive, applying early gives you a much better shot, especially if you want to be considered for scholarships. Seriously, don't wait.
So, after all that, look, it's pretty clear this program is built for the future of finance. It gives you the skills, the network, the reputation, the whole shebang. The only real question left is, are you ready to engineer yours?